God is good, and with each day that passes brings us a day closer to the launch of Baldur's Gate 3. Today we're going to talk about the Cleric class. We're going to break it down using the Dungeons & Dragons handbook, which is what Larian Studios has said they are using for the classes. Now I'm going to do my best to only mention the things that will probably be in the early access. However, it is possible that some of these things won't make an early access or will be slightly different in their translation to make this into a PC game from a tabletop RPG. But regardless, this should be a pretty good guide for Cleric in the early access for Baldur's Gate 3. Now before we begin, if you are new here, please consider subscribing, especially if you're interested in RPGs, JRPGs, CRPGs, Baldur's Gate 3, and of course we also cover old school MMORPGs, and I specialize of course in Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. And a big shout out to the members of Napalm. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you guys. And if you're interested in becoming a member of Napalm, please click the join button down below for more information and a list of perks. Divine magic, as the name suggests, is the power of the gods, flowing from them into the world. Clerics are conduits for that power, manifesting it as miraculous effects. The gods don't grant this power to everyone who seeks it, but only to those chosen to fulfill a high calling. Clerics are intermediaries between the mortal world and the distant planes of the gods. As varied as the gods they serve, clerics strive to embody the handiwork of their deities. No ordinary priest, a cleric is imbued with divine magic. Now, when creating a cleric, wisdom should probably be your highest ability score, followed by strength or constitution. Now, at very first level, the cleric will actually be able to do spell casting as well as divine domain. We're going to get to all the spells in a little bit after we cover all the basic features of the cleric first. Also at first level, the cleric learns 3 cantrips of your choice from the cleric spell list. Once again, we'll get to that in just a minute. Now let's talk about divine domain. Choose one domain related to your deity: knowledge, life, light, nature, tempest, trickery, or war. Each domain provides examples of gods associated with it. This grants you domain spells and other features when you choose it at first level. It also grants you additional ways to use channel divinity when you gain that feature at second level. Now for the sake of early access, it does look like we will be able to use life, light, and trickery, so throughout the rest of this video, those are the ones I'm going to focus on with all the spells, cantrips, etc. Now at level 2, the cleric will unlock channel divinity, 1 per rest, as well as divine domain feature. Channel divinity at second level allows you the ability to channel divine energy directly from your deity, using that energy to fuel magical effects. You start with 2 such effects: Turn Undead, and an effect determined by your domain. So since we know we'll get Turn Undead, let's talk about that. The cleric presents their holy symbol and speaks a prayer censoring the undead. Each undead that can see or hear you within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. If the creature fails its saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. A turned creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It also can't take reactions. For its action, it can only use the dash action or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, the creature can use the dodge action. Also at second level, you'll be able to do your divine domain. So this depends on which deity you have chosen and which you get their powers from. Now in the early access, we are told that there's only light, life, and trickery, so those are the ones we're going to talk about today. So if you choose the life domain, which focuses on the vibrant positive energy, one of the fundamental forces of the universe that sustains all life, the gods of life promote vitality and health through healing the sick and the wounded and caring for those in need, as well as driving away the forces of death and undeath. So if you choose this, then your life domain spells will be as follows. At first level, Bless, Cure Wounds. At third level, Lesser Restoration, and Spiritual Weapon. With the life domain, you will also, at very first level, gain proficiency with heavy armor. Also, your healing spells are more effective. Whenever you use a spell first level or higher to restore hit points to a creature, the creature regains additional hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level. Now starting at 2nd level, you can use your channel divinity to heal the badly injured. As an action, you can present your holy symbol and evoke healing energy that can restore a number of hit points equal to 5 times your cleric level. Choose any creatures within 30 feet of you and divide those hit points among them. The feature can restore a creature to no more than half of its hit point maximum. You can't use this feature on an undead or a construct. Now let's break down those spells for the life domain. Bless, available at 1st level, allows you to bless up to 3 creatures of your choice within a range. Whenever a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, the target can roll and add the number rolled to the attack roll or a saving throw. Cure Wounds. A creature you touch regains a number of hit points equal to your 1d8 roll plus your spellcasting ability modifier. This spell has no effect on undead or constructs. Also, when you cast this spell using a spell slot of 2nd level or higher, the healing increases by 1d8 for each slot level above 1st. At 3rd level, you'll get lesser restoration. You touch a creature and can end either one disease or one condition afflicting it. The condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. Also at 3rd level, you'll get Spiritual Weapon. Now I'm not 100% sure this will make it into early access, but if it does, this means you create a floating spectral weapon within range that lasts for the duration or until you cast a spell again. When you cast a spell, you can make a melee spell attack against a creature within 5 feet of the weapon. On a hit, the target takes force damage equal to 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. Now let's talk about the Light Domain, which promotes the ideals of rebirth and renewal, truth, vigilance, and beauty. Often use the symbol of the sun. Others are tireless sentinels whose eyes pierce every shadow and see every deception. Some are deities of beauty and artistry who teach that art is a vehicle for the soul's improvement. Now when you choose this domain at 1st level, you gain the Light Cantrip if you don't already know it. Also at 1st level, you can interpose divine light between yourself and an attacking enemy. When you are attacked by a creature within 30 feet of you that you can see, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll, causing light to flare before the attacker before it hits or misses. An attacker that can't be blinded is immune to this feature. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, a minimum of once. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. At 2nd level, you can use your channel divinity to harness sunlight, banishing darkness and dealing radiant damage to your foes. At 1st level, the light domain spells are Burning Hands and Fairy Fire. At 3rd level, you unlock Flaming Sphere and Scorching Ray. Burning Hands. As you hold your hands with thumbs touching and fingers spread, a thin sheet of flame shoots forth from your outstretched fingertips. Each creature in a 15-foot cone must make a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 3d6 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. The fire ignites any flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried. Fairy Fire. Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet light. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light if it fails the dexterity saving throw. For the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it and the affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible. Now, Flaming Sphere is a 2nd level conjuration spell. If it's in the early access, it is a 5-foot diameter sphere of fire that appears in an unoccupied space of your choice within range and lasts for the duration. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must make a dexterity saving throw, and the creature takes 2d6 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. Scorching Ray is a 2nd level evocation spell that means the cleric creates 3 rays of fire and hurls them at targets within range. You can hurl them at one target or several. And finally, our last domain available in the early access is the Trickery domain. Mischief makers and instigators who stand as a constant challenge to the accepted order among both gods and mortals. They're patrons of thieves, scoundrels, gamblers, rebels, and liberators. Their clerics are a disruptive force in the world, puncturing pride, mocking tyrants, stealing from the rich, freeing captives, and flouting hollow traditions. Starting when you choose this domain at first level, you will get Blessing of the Trickster, which means that you can use your action to touch a willing creature other than yourself to give it advantage on dexterity, stealth checks. This blessing lasts for 1 hour or until you use this feature again. At second level, you can use your Channel Divinity to create an illusionary duplicate of yourself. You create a perfect illusion of yourself that lasts for 1 minute or until you lose your concentration. The illusion appears in an unoccupied space that you can see within 30 feet of you. Now let's talk about the spells available to the Trickery domain. At first level, you get Charm Person, Disguise Self, and at third level, Mirror Image and Pass Without Trace. Charm Person, you attempt to charm a humanoid you can see within range. If it fails the saving throw, it is charmed by you until the spell ends or until you or your companions do anything harmful to it. The charmed creature regards you as a friendly acquaintance. When the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you. Disguise Self, if this makes it into early access, you make yourself, including your clothing, armor, weapons, and other belongings on your person, look different until the spell ends or until you use your action to dismiss it. You can seem 1 foot shorter or taller and can appear thin, fat, or in between. You can't change your body type, so you must adopt a form that has the same basic arrangement of limbs. Otherwise, the extent of the illusion is up to you. Now, since this is a video game, it would probably give you several options of what you wanted to do. At second level, we have Mirror Image. 3 illusionary duplicates of yourself appear in your space. Until the spell ends, the duplicates move with you and mimic your actions, shifting positions so it's impossible to track which image is real. You can use your action to dismiss the illusionary duplicates. Each time a creature targets you with an attack during the spell's duration, you roll a d20 to determine whether the attack instead targets one of your duplicates. Pass Without Trace. A veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection. For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including yourself, has a +10 bonus to dexterity, stealth checks, and can't be tracked except by magical means. A creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of its passage. Now let's talk about the cantrips available to the Cleric, or at least the ones I believe will make it into early access. Light, which means that the Cleric touches one object that is no larger than 10 feet in any dimension. Until the spell ends, the object sheds a bright light in a 20-foot radius and a dim light in an additional 20 feet. Resistance. You touch one willing creature once before the spell ends. The target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one saving throw of its choice. It can roll the die before or after making the saving throw. The spell then ends. Sacred Flame. A flame-like radiance descends on a creature that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a dexterity saving roll or take 1d8 radiant damage. Now let's talk about some of the spells that I think would be available to the Cleric for early access. Bless. You bless up to 3 creatures of your choice within range. Whenever a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the attack roll or saving throw. Create or destroy water. You basically create or destroy water. If you create water, you can create up to 10 gallons of clean water within range in an open container. Destroy water would be more like you destroy up to 10 gallons of water in an open container within range. Also, you can destroy fog in a 30-foot cube within range. Cure Wounds. A creature you touch regains a number of hit points equal to a 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. Does not work, however, on undead or constructs. Detect Evil and Good. For the duration, you know there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located. Detect Magic. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic. Detect Poison and Disease. For the duration, you can sense the presence and location of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet of you. You also identify the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case. Guiding Bolt. A flash of light streaks towards a creature of your choice within range. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, the target takes 4d6 radiant damage, and the next attack roll made against the target before the end of your next turn has advantage. Healing Word. A creature of your choice that you can see within range regains hit points equal to 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. has no effect on undead or constructs. Protection from evil and good. Until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch is protected against certain types of creatures, aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. Creatures of those types have a disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. If the target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed by such a creature, the target has advantage on a new saving throw against the relevant effect. Sanctuary. You ward a creature within range against attack. Until the spell ends, any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or a harmful spell must first make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell. This spell doesn't protect the warded creature from area effects, such as the explosion of a fireball. If the warded creature makes an attack or casts a spell that affects an enemy creature, this spell ends. Shield of Faith. A shimmering field appears and surrounds a creature of your choice within range, granting it a +2 bonus to AC for the duration. And I believe we have pretty thoroughly covered the Cleric in early access for Baldur's Gate 3, which, by the way, in case you didn't hear the news, unfortunately is not releasing on September 30th as we previously thought. It was delayed a week and will now release on October the 6th. So until then, I have plenty of class videos you can check out here on this channel. I only have one left to go for early access, which is the Warlock, and I'll be doing that ASAP. If you'd like to check out the Fighter, the Ranger, the Wizard, or of course the Cleric, you just listen to that one. Those are all available right here on this channel. And if you are new here, or if you haven't subscribed, I hope you'll do that for me now, as I would really appreciate it. And a big shout out to the members of Napalm for making this channel possible. Thank you so much. And if you are interested in becoming a member of Napalm, please click the join button down below for more information and a list of perks. I would really appreciate it. And until next time, guys, and until the last and final class of Baldur's Gate 3 early access, God bless and happy gaming. Please listen to what I say. I've been making videos all day. It's a video buffet, you can even hit replay. But please just subscribe. I can't even describe being part of my tribe. I'll even offer you a prize. But just please just subscribe and hit the bell notification too.